So how have you been?
I've been great. I've been great.
You're looking good.
Still, still healing from my accident last year, but that's okay.
First question. It's the question I ask everybody that I talk to. How
For
did you how did you get into e-skate? Like what is it that brought you into electric skateboarding?
it really started like I'm guessing it's trying to remember. It's like in 2016. It's 3 years ago. I have a buddy of mine that probably everybody know, which is Blasto. Also Charles, which is the lead engineer for Inertia. He wanted to start his own little project. He wanted to build himself electric skateboard. So, but at the time, I was like just having a soldering iron around here. I was out from I've been like in the assembly and really in the technician thing for like 10 years. Then I was moving to a telecommunication company because I was moving around the country. And then he was asking me for help. So we start working on this together. I first wanted to start by making myself electric, the word that we not say, which is not a skate. I have two wheels, and we're not supposed to talk about this, because
Are you talking about the S word?
yeah, the S word, yeah. So
Now, Johnny, you won't bring those up.
well, it's not an excuse, but at that time I was really afraid of electric skateboard. It's a four-wheel and goes fast.
Talking about scooters.
Damn! I'm not talking about scooter. It's over. Interview's over.
Yeah, you're fired.
But then I don't know if you remember back in 2016, one big thing that was in eSkate was the Vetter Nico Kama remote with the cruise control in it. And the option of cruise control was insane. Like you were pushing once, press the button, and it will go all the way. And the first time I step in and I try it, I fell in love. And this is how I start to like building my own skateboard. And from now on, we start like prototyping with new technology and new thing. Because at first we were working on like smart BMS 3 years ago, and at the same time that I think it's J Tag, right? Not J Lab. I always mix those two. But when J Tag releases, like we were working on oars, and it was really good time. Yeah, this is how I get to skate.
Yeah.
Surprised Jake didn't try to say this one.
I know, right? What got you into VESC repair? Like for a while, and I guess you're still doing it, like motor controller repair and other things. But like you're Johnny DRV, the repair wizard.
One of my skill I've worked, as I said earlier, I work in like really electronic assembly line. And one of my skill was like fast troubleshooting. I could troubleshoot probably like 200 boards a day. I didn't do the repair, but it was like always like troubleshooting, pointing out, and there's specific people that are doing the soldering job and things like that, so I don't have to do it. But I have that background and that experience. So, and I saw that, in the e-skate world, one thing that was missing was somebody that could repair VSC. Not just only changing the RV, but repairing them, like finding problems. The biggest issue out there that we found, like the CAN bus from the issue with the CAN bus.
Yeah.
This was like found in China in a rush with me and Charles trying to figure out why we blew up like three Raptor that are not even that. The first day of production of the Raptor, we blew up like 2 or 3. Like VSC in the ring. Wow, what the fuck happened? And there was Jason in the back, like this is how this is finding the solution. And I think also helping people was probably my first goal, because everybody has like all of these VESC all around, and I came with this at the time where VSC were kind of unreliable, and people were blowing like DRV all the time with the old inertia, the old torque boards, and It was long before we were thinking about upgrade. Like they were still like using like 50 volt capacitor on it. It was built for 6S, and people were pushing it at like 10S.
They were just blowing up left and right.
Exactly. So, but the fact that starting all of this repair also give us like the knowledge to get the product better out there.
Now they can legit handle 12S, no problem. Like
exactly.
Even the ones still based on the 412 format, you know, the classic models. There's a few companies out now that put them out that are kind of reliable. Like they're pretty reliable.
Yeah. The thing that's really changed the 4.12 as we know it, and like the big upgrade, they all came from, I think, Jeremiah. Jeremiah did a great job with this. He did a great job like upgrading the component, finding like a 100 volt component and stuff like that. We learned a lot also with Blasto from this. This helped us like with the design of the fog box and everything. But you know, this is he is probably the one that helped VSC to be more reliable today.
Agreed. That's Jeremiah from All On Board Company.
Yeah. Exactly. Or check out the forum.
So all of this led into Lacroix. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Lacroix. It's Lacroix.
Lacroix. Okay.
Yeah, you say that quite right. I've seen worse.
I'm an American. I can't put R's and W's right next to each other. It doesn't.
Yeah, that's a French thing.
Yeah. So that's LACROIX, and you guys put together a big Carvey pneumatic thing that has become pretty fucking popular. I have to say, I've seen a lot of them around.
Yeah. Actually, there's quite a lot up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me all about it. Tell me how you got into it. Tell me who's into it. Tell me the whole story.
Well, the whole story start like 2 years ago when I was helping Charles working with the Raptor 2. And there was this guy from Montreal that wanted first he wanted to buy a Evolve. But then, you know, Evolve costs around like $3,000 here in Canada, 3,000 Canadian bucks or pesos because you have to pay the tax and you have to pay. It's completely insane. So basically, he was looking at the building. I'm talking about Alex for people who don't know. So and he start on the forum and Charles approached him. So we help him build his own board, his first board, which was a copy of a Kylie NYC. So we were building his board and we were working in China for the Raptor. And it was crazy because we were trying to buy time because Alex is a bit kind of an impatient guy and it was bugging us. So Charles came up with those, those PCB for battery.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, I have this for you. We'll put on your board. And actually, this probably became the base of any Lacroix. This is what, a board is as good as its battery pack, I think, for most of the boards out there.
You're 100% on that, man.
Yeah. If somebody builds a shitty battery, the board's going to be shitty. So this was probably, and I think Alex saw it like a way to build board easy and build battery easily because it's really simple. It's like you could build stack of like these pack of battery and you just put 12 together or 10 and like you build your battery like that. So yeah, and then after this, like the year after, he came to us because the year after, which was last year, he came to us with his brother and said, "Hey guys, we want to start an esk8 company." And we were like, "Okay, I've seen not thousand, but dozens of people trying to start company and never really work it out in the esk8, and it's people see building an esk8 as something that is pretty easy.
Yeah,
everybody can put a board together. Not everybody can ramp up the production and have like a board that you can send to somebody else. It takes a lot of liability. It's a lot of stress also. You have to do a lot of customer services, and you have to basically know what you're doing. If you don't know, and people that are trying, people are trying hard to get into, but they usually turn to Chinese company at one point and just buy kit and sell back kits. I think that's not what Lacroix is, and neither you.
Right.
It's building a board, having something completely made by hand to sell to people. Yeah. And I think I fall in love with that idea. And at first, I was like working with them. We were at like 3 locations in the city. It was crazy. And I was like, I was a part of the company, but I wasn't planning on being there all the time. Like I was there, I was doing the electronics, I was doing my little parts, and we have Alex that was doing his, and Patrick, the Alex brother that was with us at the beginning, also was doing his parts. So, but at one point, we just like got a new shop, started working there, and from that day on, I think I didn't leave the shop one day. It's like I'm always there. I'm always working, building boards. It's something that I like. It's really manual thing, and it's bring me back to my electronic roots a lot.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
For those of you out there that don't know, what you're seeing in the back behind me.
Yeah, it's a bio board, I think.
Well, the shop. This is on the other side of that door is my kitchen. This is my garage.
Yeah.
So like,
well, actually,
what Johnny's saying about not leaving the shop ever.
Well,
right. That when you're like out here doing this shit, he's right. Like you just all you do is work. It's exactly, kind of it's something that, and you don't even mind it. Like it's a job that you don't mind being at, and you just want to be at all the time.
Exactly, and to follow on that. Also, I have like 2 shops because I have the shop with Lacroix, and I have this shop here where I am at right now. And what you I don't know if you see it, but in the corner right there is my bed. Like,
where at?
Don't know if I can move the. Let me move the PC a bit. I think I cannot go higher than that. So you can see in the corner. My bed.
Oh, your bed. That is your bed.
Yeah. So I'm leaving.
So you're like literally sleep in your shop.
Yeah.
My bed's like a couple hundred feet that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But esk8 is just like that. When you're passionate about it, it's becoming a second part of your life.
Yeah. It really does.
Yeah.
That's all the questions I had for you. Those are the things that I wanted to know. And I think, everyone. Did I
answer them correctly, or
you got close enough.
Yeah.
Mostly facts, mostly.
I have to tell, I'm not really used to interviews. That's my first one. Like usually
this
people.
Is my second. This is the second interview I've ever given. This beer brings us into our next segment.
Oh.
So on the floor.
Should I finish mine?
Yeah. Feel free.
Oh, it's okay. It's like 7% alcohol beer.
I bring out the giant beer. This thing is for this segment.
It's a small beer in Canada.
That's a small beer in Canada.
A small beer, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this segment, what we're doing here is the forum. The forum has questions for you, Johnny, and comments. And so I'm gonna get your answers and responses to these comments from these wild animals. These people that we.
It's more than wild sometimes.
Yes, it really is. All right, so Deuces Down. Deuces Down wants to know what kind of failure rates do you see in the various VESCs? He has a bunch of questions, and I'm going to ask.
Yeah. Well, failure rate. It's that's the kind of question that is really hard to answer because I only see shits. That's the only thing I see. I only see failures. I never really see like good, but I only see failures as a repair. But when with Lacroix, we install a lot of them, and I can say it's probably less than 1%. If you have the right setup, if you have like the right parameters inside, if you don't overwhelm your motor, if you don't overwhelm like the VSC, it's going to be less than 1%. And also,
That
depending,
makes total sense. Like, you know, if you're not, I think a lot of what was blowing up all the VESCs, the great VESC blowout of freaking 2016 and 2017. I think what most of that was is people just over-speccing their builds.
Yeah.
You know, they'll put these things in there. You know, you were right earlier. Those things really weren't designed to run, but beyond 6S, 7S, 8S. You know,
yeah, even at 12S, it's pushing the limits. You know,
Right.
usually you should keep yourself like a good 15-20% of the tolerance of the parts. And the first generation of VSC, from I say until like mid 2000, probably mid 2017, beginning of 2018. Before that, everybody was using 50-volt capacitor, and with ceramic capacitor, the problem is the closer you are from their voltage, the less capacity they could give. So basically, if they are 50 volt and using them at 50 volt,
50 volts, by the way, is a fully charged 12S board.
Yeah. So if you're using them at the same rate, you don't have any capacity at all. So the capacitor is ineffective. If it is effective, it's going to blow something else.
So what he's saying is regen spikes on a fully charged pack.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to kill instantly. Yeah.
I totally understand.
Yes. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people needed to hear that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So
Especially if you go 14.
What's that?
Especially if you go 13S for Jake.
Jake, for those of you that don't know Jake, that's my son over there. He's just basically standing in the middle of a bunch of burned out shit that he broke. That's his bench of destruction back over there. He breaks everything, and then what he doesn't break, I endorse and use. That's how that works.
But Jake it's really nice that Jake it's also like a case of packing up back shit together.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if everything is broke down, he's gonna make a build out of it, and it's nice. It's recycling.
The crazy thing is this shit works for months at a time. Like, it's all broken, but like I can't sell it, and yet it's great. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's
maybe you should rebrand yourself. Like you put a bit of paint over there and there.
Dude, yeah, like a whole Mad Max branding. You never know what you're gonna get. You order one of my boards, it's
if you made a
rebar and shit, and like, yeah,
if you made a deck that thick, you probably could put the battery inside.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Our batteries.
It needs to be around this.
But yeah, like 6 or 7 doors thick, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so like most common failures. What are the most common things you see blowing up on?
At one point was the can failure. Once we found out what was causing the problem, everybody blew his can.
Yeah.
And today it's still the DRV error, and it's still the can error. That's probably, and right now one thing I see a lot is the MCU failure. I don't know. It's probably one version of the software or something, but the MCU is just blown out.
Really?
Like right on my desk right now, I have like this flip sky, and I have to change it to MCU because they're short. They're blown out.
Is that the 420-100?
I really can't tell. I don't really know these.
Because we had one of those that we blew up like inside of a minute and a half. Like we put it on and it was just popped. And then we had another one that was running. Wasn't that what you were running on the front of your board for a while? The 420-100?
Yeah. The
flip sky, yeah. Yeah, so we had one that was running for months and months and months and months. And as part of the 4-wheel drive config, and it was fine.
No, but I think it's probably something that has to do with the firmware or. But I see a lot more of these issues happening. It's probably because the DRV doesn't take the error and it blows off, or something goes wrong with the voltage, and one day I'll figure it out.
So, like, the next question is, what can we do not to blow up our various vests? But I think you've sort of answered that question.
Yeah.
Not stringing a bunch of bullshit over together and running at less than maximum capacity.
Yeah, exactly. Also, a good thing to always check is your motor spec. The motor spec are, You know, if you have like a motor that can max out at like 50 amp, and you try to put 100 amp in it, like the 50 amp gap is gonna go somewhere. It's probably gonna go and eat in the motor or in the VSC. So you're kind of always in between those. So always like go in the limits of what what you're using can do.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody actually said that. Like, you know.
Yeah, no.
Don't be trying to run your freaking don't be trying to run your quadcopter motors at 12S on your freaking board.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So
16.
So this is a legit question. Does the VESC Wizard run CAN bus or split PPM?
Oh, can. Always can.
Traction control.
Totally called it. Traction control. Thank you, Jake. All right.
Oh, so, yeah, it's can without traction control.
What is wrong with you?
Everything.
This interview's over.
Why traction control? I don't know. I know Charles told me once, don't put traction control, and I never put traction control.
Why did he tell you? Does he hate you? Does he not like you to have a good e-boarding experience?
I always have a good e-boarding experience. You know, what's a good e-boarding experience when you don't fall down?
Dude, from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip. That's what it's supposed to be doing, man.
Yeah.
And let's see. So, oh, yeah, here's the obvious question. I think you already answered this already. What association do you have or have you had with inertian? You used to work for inertian, right?
Well, it's kind of a weird thing. I work along inertian.
Alongside of inertian.
Alongside of inertian. I've never got paid by inertian.
Hmm.
Well, I got like parts when I've gone to I've gone to China with them.
Mm-hmm.
I got like the hotel pay, but you know I still have to pay my plane tickets, and you know I was doing it for the experience, like a meeting with the community. I've done this with you. I've done this with Ernesto. Like I want to see the guy that I'm with, and that was a good experience for me going there. But I never like got a paycheck from inertian. I always like got free parts. I have to be honest. I never paid for any VESC. Never.
Wow. No, that kind of is a paycheck. Like
yeah, I never paid for any VESC. I never paid for motors, for setup. I have like a free Raptor 2 that we have a piece together with Charles, and you know it's this, but never got a real paycheck. It's always been like on the side and getting free things, and which is nice. You know, when you're doing esk8, that's what you want. You don't need the money. You just want the parts.
Jason's
It's
still
like a drug addict.
still.
Like, you know, you don't need the money. You just need to drive.
Dude, you're so hardcore.
Yeah, well,
Don't pay me in cash, pay me in parts. I fucking love that shit. Like this, Jason still owes me like $100
Jason?
from like 2016. He'll never pay that invoice. It's hilarious. Like
Yeah,
I don't even care at this point. Like I don't even care.
If you add like 15%, so it's probably worth what? $1 million Australian dollars today?
Easily 3 million Australian he owes me.
$1 million Australian, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
based on
probably
like $100 PayPal invoice that he never paid. 16, because I used to do the Raptor 1 repairs, and like the same problem. Send me a new VESC. Send me a new VESC. Send me a new VESC.
But the Raptor 1 was using those old, really old school, like
yeah, the old 412, like with the big caps on the back.
yeah, the old. I remember that setup. It was kind of the deck was so nice on the Raptor, but you know you have like the big battery and 2 little VESC on the back. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, the deck was sweet, but you know it was.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, his stuff goes in there,
Yeah.
and then you have a funny story. The first batches that went out had a carbon fiber lid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nobody saw the problems that was going to cause. No, this one's actually fiberglass. The last ones that went out were fiberglass. He had to send lids everywhere because carbon fiber blocks radio signals. It's not. Anyway, which forum user has sent you the most dead VESCs?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know I sent you like 3 good Amazon-sized boxes.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, but also I have Ernesto that sent me a few ones, Cali NYC. And lately there's Dave in the competition. And, you know,
sending me a bunch of dead VESCs.
Dave, I won't say anything. I know the competition between you two are at eye level, but
I have no competition with that dude. He's mostly because he stole my best friend Jamie.
Oh really? Oh come on. We're gonna it's gonna be lit in Colorado.
All right, so the last thing that Deuces Down wants to know, these were all his questions. Like we got a while. That's why I brought the big beer out here, because I don't want to go.
The thing is, next time you're doing an interview, ask Down to write you a question, some question.
I'm gonna get him to do the whole script, because he seems to be hitting all the solid points, which is why I only had 3 questions. I just wanted to get some background on you as a person before I let these animals tear into you with their asinine whatever. Where are the rest of the Johnny Soldering Tip videos?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good question. That's a nice project I wanted to start. I think 1 or 2 years ago. But the thing is, it's making YouTube video, as you might not know, it takes a lot of time, and I'm quite a perfectionist about this. You know, I've studied in cinema, and I want something perfect. And if I found this not really as I like it, I won't really go that route. And
you want like a lot of Michael Bay CG in your shit?
Yeah. But I'm not good at doing this. It takes a lot of time. You know, I want to see a VSC transform itself and transform back into VSC while I repair it. It's not something that I can do. So, but I think I probably have more time this summer or this year to work on something, like really having a repair channel for VSC, like probably doing like live stream of repair and stuff like that.
Saturn Core. I assume this is Saturn, like that makes cars. I assume that's like
you know the plastic car.
Yeah. Is Canadian bacon just bacon to you?
That's a good question. You know, the thing is, in Canada you have American bacon, and you have bacon, but it's still called Canadian bacon. It's still called Canadian bacon because you want to be proud of the bacon you eat. That's a lifestyle, baby. Canadian lifestyle. We're drinking coffee from Tim Hortons and eating Canadian bacon, which is bacon for Canadian, made by Canadian.
No, that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
You hit it. I think you nailed it. So, Theme Gak, I love these usernames, wants to know which VESC would you recommend that total noobs buy? And also, where did you learn to do magic?
Well, the first rule, let's start by magic. The first rule of magic is not talk where you learn magic. That's the first rule. So I can't tell where I learned magic. VSC to buy, it's if you ask me a VESC to buy, I'm gonna say Unity. Like I've seen that project from the start. I've still worked with Charles on this. It's like I won't say anything else. I don't like the design from Flipsky. I think the Maytech is way too big, but you know, if you want to go cheap and dirty, I would say like maybe Hobby King and like tour boards. If you need something really cheap, people didn't send me quite the Hobby King, so I'm guessing they're not that bad.
So you're not getting Hobby King repairs?
No, not that much. It's really surprising.
I suspect that the vests I have in my ex-Carvon torque boards Evo build, I suspect those are Hobby King.
Since you choose the big bear, I choose mine.
You got the big beer.
Big beer.
Big beers, man. Big beers.
The Tom Green Stout.
It's a Tom Green Stout.
Remember Tom Green?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
Just a comment, not a question. I want to get your reaction to it.
Okay.
Doreno says, tell him I'm sorry for calling him a cheap conjurer.
He did it. He called me like this. No apology can take this away from me. It's still haunting me in my dream every night I want to sleep.
The bastard.
You know, it's like calling Harry Potter an actor.
I'm dead.
I'm dead. So do you see the VESC changing dramatically soon? Like, do you see anything? This question is by It's Medant. So he wants to know if you see the VESC changing dramatically soon, or is there anything upcoming that will blow the fog box as it currently is out of the water?
Which fog box you talk first? Which fog box he's talking about?
I think he's talking about the single one.
Yeah,
Not the Unity, but the
Unity was one step further than the fog box was.
Uh-huh.
You know, there's still an issue, but you know, the VSC. We'll just take for example the VSC 4.12 and give it a place on the market.
Yeah.
The VSC 4.12 is a project that Vetter starts, I think, nearly 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really has.
It was probably, I think Vetter was probably getting out of the VESC until it was found by Torborg. If I remember, it was Dexter who found him, brought it to the sphere, then was Jason. But, you know, there's still like a good 5 years of experience before getting in the market. The Unity was developed a year and a half prior to his release. And was, you know, I've seen Charles and Jeff work hard on this, but it's sure it's going to have some issue. It's sure it's not going to be 100% perfect like what we are used to at the first glance. But I think, and I know what's going to happen in the next few run. I think, yes, the VESC is going to change. And I think we're just going to increment toward to probably being more in the realm of e-bike at one point.
So you're thinking it's going to be like gradual, incremental, like community-driven change, as opposed to like something that just shows up magically and just blows everyone away.
No, it's probably show up magically and blow everyone away. Magic is the key. It's always the key.
Magic.
No, but you know, I know, it's fun because I really know what's in the pipe, but I can't tell. But you know, it's gonna really. There's really few things that are on this way, and I hope their project that's gonna develop themselves. Because I know that there's some project that will never see the light of the day.
Yeah.
When you're doing engineering, like I can show you BMS from 3 years ago that was completely insane. It was really a smart BMS that could be programmable and stuff like that. But the problem was the cost. It's always an issue. Like it was
talking about die-by or something similar.
Yeah, even die-by. Die-by, if you go in production with this, it's gonna cost around like $70 to $100 to build.
Yeah, per unit. Now that's a lot of upfront cross to shoulder for something that you really can't sell for more than $200.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's $100. But what the cost of what is producing? Like a battery in production, if you're using like 30Q, is probably a 10S4P using 30Q is around the corner of like in between $175 to $200.
Yeah, that's about right. So
it costs you around $100 to product something that costs $200.
Yeah.
At the long run, it will cost less to a company to just put the cheapest thing they can and replace battery.
Yeah, so. I feel like Evolve proved that to be the case.
Yeah.
They would just send you another battery. Like I think their packs. I don't know what their packs cost, but I know it's less than $100 for them. So they just shove it on out to the customer whenever the BMS blows, like a whole new cells and everything.
No, Well, actually, we're talking about Evolve, and I know you've done a lot of mod of them, but what actually is your take right now about the new Evolve that's coming out? I know you're going to tell me it looked a lot like a Lacroix, but like the grip tape on the side. The first time I saw that picture was like,
I don't know what to say.
they rip us off.
Like to me, anything outside of the box is just fluff and glamour. Like I don't even really care about the look of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
With you. Evolve throughout their entire life cycle has paid a lot of attention to aesthetic. They all look amazing. Like they're great looking. Inside, I mean, it's pretty elegant inside. I mean, they've got these ESCs that only work with their BMS. They got their BMS that only works with their ESC. They got their remote that only works with their ESC. It's it's a pretty closed loop system. You can't really DIY yourself out of that for less than $1,200 in parts and labor. So, but what they have, their new stuff, they should have done this a long time ago. I don't know why it took them so goddamn long to put 18650s on a PCB.
No, but
and then they choose the wrong cells. What the shit?
Yeah, no. But I think they choose the cell for the life cycle of the cell, because I think that what they're doing is they're pushing to maximize the range.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to extremely low voltage with the battery.
Yeah,
it's not every battery that can take big discharge at low voltage. Like if you go with the 30Q under. The best example for this is those cheap LCD that everybody's putting on their board. The 0% on this is approximately 35 volt.
Right.
So basically that tell you that even people that are doing display consider like a battery empty out at like 35, 34.
You think the 35E is something that they just got to match with their existing ESC, or do you think that they got like a whole new ESC and everything?
I think they probably, it's hard to tell. I think they probably made some change with their ESC. I didn't know. I'm not, to be honest, I never opened an Evolve. I probably rode an Evolve like for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm interested in.
To me, it's like, oh shit, what they do now? Like, I kind of want to. I want a GTR just to tear it open right now because I want to see exactly how they got those cells on that ribbon.
Because of the restriction, the current restriction of having an old PCB, you can go like 80 amp if you're using an old PCB.
No, you can't.
Discharge you could do is probably around like 30, 40.
Well, 30 and 45, max 50 on its biggest spike is all Evolve is pulling anyway.
Yeah, because or else you will need like half of the PCB is going to be at current trace.
Yeah, like half of it.
It's just insane, and the cost it's going to go high. It's going to cost like around like probably like $10-15 per board.
Yeah, they're basically running a giant ribbon cable with still holders like stapled into it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Today I posted something on Instagram, the way I've been building these Evolve packs for the last 2 years, where I'm actively like flapping it up and down because it's crazy flexible.
Yeah.
You can build flexible 18650 packs safely. I've never had a problem doing it. It's just I don't know. Why did it take them so long? I don't know.
Yeah, but they wanted something easy to build for a factory in China. That's the thing.
Like it's hard for them to build one.
Yeah.
It's not hard for us to come up with something. It's hard for a factory worker who's making like the equivalent of $3 an hour.
Yeah.
To make one.
Actually, that's the thing we have tried at one point. Like having battery made in China with our spec and was like
super expensive, wasn't it?
It's not a failure, and it was crazy. They did have a lot of the issue, and the issue with China is always you never need to let them think. Once the second they think for themselves, they're gonna do something that you don't want them to do on your board.
Right, they're gonna take a shortcut because they don't understand the application. So they're like, why don't you just put all of this nickel strip perpendicular to the flex plane of the board because that worked out really well.
No, that's
so yeah. That's, I mean, I spent most of 2016 figuring out how not to build a battery.
Yeah, that's the long process, I think.
Yeah. And some of the stuff, you know, you look at it and it's like, well, of course, that's fucking obvious. Why didn't you? You know, well, unless you were there in the beginning, you didn't know that it was obvious then. There was no obvious then. Nobody was doing it. Like there wasn't there wasn't a way to do it, you know, because it wasn't written down anywhere. There's no procedure.
Oh, exactly.
You know,
in 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
I can show you the first battery pack I've built. And, you know, I'm not really moving it around because if you move it too much, there's some spark at some place.
Yeah.
It's a
you put that in a board. You know, like that's what we went through trying to figure
it out. The thing is, that battery pack was in the Charles First Raptor 1 project. And because of the way he plays like the switch and things, we have to do like a plexiglass cover, fiber.
Yeah.
And he was riding around and he saw sparks under him because it was translucent.
Oh shit! So it was like bouncing up and down, and then the nickel was short.
Yeah, but remember that was at the time where everybody was building their pack straight.
Yeah.
And flexing them like this, and the nickel was broken in the middle.
Right.
It was doing spark when it was moving around.
Yeah. No, the space cell was a horseshoe. It was a horseshoe with the nickel perpendicular to the flex.
Yeah. And
that I fixed. Not only did I ship a fuckload of those in 2015 for Jason, but I also fixed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Vera got that business after me because I was tired of it. I needed to do other shit. Like all I was doing was fixing inertia shit.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you see a future with esk8 going high voltage, low current rather than typical low voltage, high current? And by high voltage, they mean something higher than 12S. So like right now, 12S is basically the high voltage of esk8. Now we've seen, in answer to this guy, oh, by the way, this was Shaman on the forum. I've seen a board come out that was a production board that was 13S. That was the Metasurf. That one kind of completely slipped under the radar. I haven't seen anything on the Metasurf since it was released, since somebody got me their drive system to try out, which, by the way, is still on the shelf because I don't want to bend it. We tried it a little bit and then put it away because if the calibers will bend, that shit will sure as fuck bend.
Yeah. But you know, it's like those car with the camber thing.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, it's a fashion. At one point, it became a fashion statement. When you go with your board and it does look like this.
Yeah.
Like you're shredding the side of your wheel.
Right.
Yeah, you know, it's.
I've seen the cones, people coning their wheels because my wheels are probably coned. These E-calibers bend.
Yeah.
And that's why I've not been too re-upping on them. So I'm probably going to get a precision truck at some point. But yeah.
You know, we're talking about trucks, so I'm going to talk about this one. Have you, you know the MBS truck?
Yeah.
You know the shape that is completely weird? Like it's not a hexagonal, it's like have a loop.
Yeah.
And it's funny because this truck is made to a trial and error. They were doing probably like a hexagonal shape at first.
Yeah.
But then the rider was doing grinding. It was breaking down the front. So they have a lip over the front to like add a thickness of aluminum on it.
Huh.
So basically, that's a truck that have evolved purposes, and that's probably something that Caliber and all these cast trucks should have done. It's like they're still using skateboard parts for electric skateboard, but they should probably, like, if they're gonna put a longer truck, they need to put more metal on it or change the shape. But Torqueboard did a good job at like getting bigger trucks. In fact, for the long.
I can attest the torque board trucks they don't bend.
No.
They do not bend like the Caliber E's. They don't bend like the Calibers. They don't bend.
They're pretty cheap.
In all fairness, Jake runs into fucking curbs and trees and shit just like I do. Like, well, I mean, we beat the shit out of stuff. We're not like typical. You know, I'm gonna get on the trail every Sunday and that's all I'm gonna ride.
You're not typical, but I've seen worse than you.
Oh yeah. We're not the worst.
No. You're soft on your. I've seen you ride, and you're smooth.
I'm a little soft. Yeah, I'm a little soft on mine because I did most of my abuse, up until last year.
Yeah.
Like my shit works now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm basically down to trucks bending, and that's my only problem. Like I need to get that shit taken care of.
Yeah. Probably need like precision trucks or something.
Yeah.
Have you tried a Caliber Precision series?
I'm gonna try something like that. I might try to get my own hangers made.
Yeah.
I want to do my own hangers and mounts. I think that's where I'm at now. So Brennernet, we all know this question is going to be great. Brennernet wants to know if you put out on first dates, and depending on the answer, are you up to Tuesday night?
Well, Tuesday. We'll start by Tuesday. Tuesday's taco night. Tuesday is a big no. Do I put out? It really depends on the person.
I think Brennernet wants to know if you'll put out for him.
Does he have long hair?
No. He has a big beard though.
That answer.
I've seen his avatar. If that is really him in the avatar, he has a nice beard.
Yeah, but nothing is nicer than the Wizard beard.
Anything less than the beard you're sporting is basically an insult to you.
Exactly, except maybe manners.
This question is from Rod. Say somebody is going to visit you at your workshop. What should they bring for you? Basket, bottle of wine.
If you come at my workshop, you need to bring beer.
Beer, yeah.
I don't work for free.
Yeah.
Do I look like a slave? No, I want beer.
Yeah, and you don't want some cheese basket either. You want some fucking beer.
Beer.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't want that Budweiser crap.
Right.
No, I have to be honest. I don't want it.
No Budweiser for Johnny.
No. Only Canadian bacon beer.
Deuce is down. I had another set of questions for you. You ready?
Good. It's good.
This is okay. So he wants to know what gear are you lusting after right now?
Well, not much. It's kind of I'm pretty much set up like the way I want. I don't like. No, I'm pretty much set up of what everything I need. It's like at one point you get to buy everything, get everything. So right now I'm satisfied with what I have. Like, I'm not looking for something. Probably a wizard hat. Gonna be the next.
A wizard hat?
Yeah.
Like a big pointy wizard hat?
Yeah, but maybe with a kink,
What's the funniest build mistake you've ever made?
Funniest build mistake? That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I made one like a couple weeks ago when we are trying to put together like the new Lacroix model that I'm not supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
So we were putting it, and inside we put like what we call a sentinel circuit. And it goes with the cockiness of like building electronics and stuff like that. And I put a diode in reverse. So once I plugged the charger in, everything went to flame. I was like, oh man, and the panic struck me, and it was just the diode. But the thing is, it's becoming a recurrent occurrence with me. Every time I build something, every time I build a brand new PCB, there's always a diode in the reverse. We'll always have to work with this. So that's not funny for everyone, but that's like my running gag of problem with electronics.
So you just randomly put shit in reverse now? Is that what you're saying?
Also, a few times I forget to remove the disable from the PPM and have to reopen boards. That's not funny. That's funny for everyone, but it's never funny for me. Like, you just finished. Oh, it's done. Push forward. Ah, come on. Reopen the boards. Reable. I can't wait for being able to do this on the Bluetooth app.
Would you ever? This is something Flying Piranha wants to know. If you would ever pull away from the pneumatic and look at setting up non-inflatable wheels as stock. And I assume he has to mean like things not just urethane, but also, like the airless tire, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but if I find something that does really work well and that does like not just work well but look cool at the same time, and I can actually show you something that I'm just right here. That's something that I was working on. It's a 3D printing model of a wheel.
That's a fucking airless tire. Holy shit.
Airless tire. Like, you can't see because it's like.
How was the ride? Is it comfortable?
I didn't try it.
Oh.
To be honest, I didn't ride too much that this year, and this is just like a 3D printing model that I wanted to try. But I think if you put rubber on it, it could be really great. And I think for the future of esk8, we'll probably see a bit more of those.
There's a whole skate company out there called Airless now.
Yeah.
This kid started that shit.
But the thing is, you have to use the right material. Like, remember those wheels from DIY e-board?
Yeah.
They were made of urethane, I think. And
the ones that are full of holes.
Yeah. They were like urethane, but the problem was they were heavy as hell, and they were slipping through. They were slipping inside the wheel, and they were
slipping on the core.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I don't know if you remember, people were putting like a zip tie on them everywhere just to hold the wheel in place.
Really?
Yeah. That was like
that somehow.
Probably like if you're doing it with rubber and like mesh inside, like you need to build a real tire.
Yeah.
With vulcanized rubber and really put inside, like what you see in car industries that like with big trucks that are using this, and I think there's a future for it. If they made a good quality one, I'd probably switch over. Yeah.
Arch on the esk8 forum, which I may have deduced as someone I know. When is he going to eat all the yogurt in the shop fridge? Why is there so much damn yogurt in the shop fridge?
Well, Mr. Arch, the thing is, you shouldn't let the guy with the yogurt pallet came in and drop it in the fridge. I'm not the one that said yes to that guy. It was you. I'm only caring about the beer in the fridge. And
just to refer to my notes, this is the yogurt in question.
Yeah, that's the fridge.
This is
as you can
printout for posterity.
The top part is mine. I think maybe milk is not good anymore. That's another thing for Arch. I have he asking me a question. I'm going to ask him a question. When are you ordering the next batch of coffee?
Oh, that's some hard shit.
Yeah,
I expect to see an answer from him.
Exactly. What's that bag you have in your back, sir?
So check this out. This is a bag from Alter Bags, and I didn't think my Wishblade was going to fit in it. They were like, "Hey, let me send you this bag to check out," and I was like, "Okay, I'll try."
I know you could fit Lacroix in it, so
yeah. You should be able to fit a Lacroix in here.
Yeah.
This is the backpack.
Nice.
Yeah, so you can just
is that reflective on the side?
It looks like it's just it might be. My shit weighs like 25 pounds, but it still isn't like it's not bad. I can walk around in it.
What if you fell on your back?
Then I would hit the throttle and roll out,
Oh, okay, yeah. Until you take a jump and went back on your feet.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So dig this. I can wear a board while I'm on a board. All right?
Oh.
Yeah. But check this shit out. As if that wasn't inception enough.
There's 2 boards in this.
Just in case there's a problem,
I hope it's the turbo penny.
I can just grab this other board out of the board.
It's not the turbo penny.
No, it's the other turbo penny.
You can put the heart. Can you put the turbo penny inside of this?
I can fit turbo penny in there. If I can fit arc in there.
No. Can you fit arc and the turbo penny?
Oh, both of them? Yeah.
Both of
I'm
them.
pretty sure I can fit both.
So basically, you're ready for any situation.
Yeah, in any situation.
You just need to leave the second big board somewhere because it won't fit after.
Right.
So you leave one board on the side of the road, but you can use a scooter.
Well, it has self-destruct, so it's okay if I leave it on the side of the road. So I got another question for you. Look at this giant thing over here. So what do you think about these?
Yeah, bio board.
What do you think about them? Have you tried one? Have you been around?
Oh, I didn't try one. To be honest, I'm like a grandfather right now on the board.
You're a grandfather.
Yeah, I don't drive fast. I just I'm like an elderly person. It's like,
well, you can calibrate the remote and put it in slow mode, and these things are actually kind of buttery, which I was kind of impressed with. Like, because I didn't. This one came with the Inertian Nano X.
Yeah.
And I think they're swapping remotes. They're doing a different remote now. But
you're
familiar with the Nano X, right?
Yeah.
If you don't turn it on first and do the beep beep, then it's just utterly balls to the wall insane. Like you have to calibrate them. So this thing, I got on this thing without calibrating the Nano. And it scared the shit out of me. I was just like, what the? I can't even ride this. What the fuck? Like I got on it and then I was like, a little bit easy, just trying to take off. This shit was wanting to do like 44 within a half second. It's fucking nuts. And it's got these things have this one has like 150 amp BMS in it and 2 unities. It's just absolutely retarded and weighs like 1,000 pounds.
The camera shake and everything, but
yeah, just like, and it's gear drive, so you roll it back and forth on the bench, you can hear it because it's acoustic.
Yeah,
like it just the bench just amplifies the noise. It doesn't sound anything like that on the street, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. 4-wheel drive, gear drive, censored 6374s. It's retarded.
Yeah,
I don't know. These things are expensive, but they feel really good.
No. Yeah, just that I'm a bit biased.
Oh yeah, I totally get that. I can't help it though. Like I'm a total geek. Like I want to get.
Yeah, no.
I want every board.
Well, maybe.
You gotta send me one to review.
Yeah.
I need to
review. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should have like if everything goes accordingly to plan, we should have probably the new Lacroix, Colorado.
Nice. Yeah, I want to try it out. Pumped about Colorado.
Oh
my God.
It's gonna be nice. Yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna let
All
you
right,
go.
man. See you later.
Peace.
Peace.